Hi all, thanks for joining this outreach webinar from Raising a Mathematician Foundation. We welcome all the parents, the education community, the teachers, admin team of schools, and beloved students who have come for this session today. I'm Shubha. I'm part of the operations team of Raising a Mathematician Foundation. And I'm also a parent of a teen child who has attended Raising a Mathematician Foundation, or shortly we call it as RAM, summer camps since 2023. So we have a line of speakers today who will be taking us through on the different aspects of our different camps that's going to be happening in this summer. So we have from our academic team, we have a parent volunteer, we have a parent who's going to share experience, we have a TA, who have a participant. All of them are going to share about these camps. And your children might be in different ages and stages, and each of our camps cater to different age groups. So this webinar will give you more details about that. So first, I shall share you the plan for today's session. It's going to be an hour session. We will start off with introducing the RAM Foundation, and then we will have an overview about all the camps that's going to happen. And each of the speakers will take us to the camps in detail. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A. So because it's a time-bound and a very packed session, we are going to disable the chat and also keep all our participants on mute. And only at the end, we'll be enabling the chat and open for any questions. So we would like you all to be mindfully present for this camp to know more details about it. Yes, and this session is going to be recorded for our own internal purposes. So first and foremost, a little brief about Raising a Mathematician Foundation. It's a not-for-profit organization. It's been run to nurture and identify mathematical talent and create a brighter future for our students. There are a lot of comprehensive programs and camps that RAM caters to help students with opportunities and resources to excel in math and related fields. Yeah. And as always, we also like to brag about our students. So as you can see, this is the recent 2025, some of the achievements of our past campers and students of RAM. As you can see, Cyber Security Olympiad 2025, and then Chemistry Olympiad 2025, then European Girls Informatics Olympiad, then a Math Olympiad of 2025, and also a Linguistic Olympiad of 2025. So we have a varied cohort of people who have participated in different camps. So at RAM, we focus on journey to enjoy mathematics, and we enjoy every student's growth to see how they mature mathematically and handle problems that require deep thinking and intuition. And we also encourage our students to participate in reputed math competitions or related competitions like these, the International Olympiad types. So these competitions also challenge and motivate the students and find their inner metal. So that's about our past students' achievements. And now for today, we're going to be talking about 3 residential camps that's happening this summer. About Epsilon India, which is happening in May 3rd to 17th, 2026. And then about RAMTP, which is happening from May 24th to May 30th, 2026. And then about Math.biz, a camp that's happening from June 9th to 19th of 2026. So briefly, let me take you through what is each of these camp is about. Then I will hand over it to the speakers of today. So Epsilon is a 2-week, one-of-its-kind residential program. It's modeled for highly gifted students, which was started in the US decades ago. And we are proud to say we are the only organization in India catering to such a young age group of 9 to 13 years. Yeah. Then we will talk about RAMTP. It's a flagship program. It attracts about 1,000 plus applicants every year, the last 13 years. And you have children applying from across the length and breadth of our country. So we explore different fields of mathematics from experts from industry and academia who take sessions for our children. Then math.biz. It's a very, very niche program that's for high school students, and it exposes children to the application of mathematics in finance, economics, and in business. This program has been curated by Dr. Hariharan and his team after a decade of research on the same. It attracts students from India and abroad as well. So yeah, that's a brief about our camps. I've spoken a lot. Now over to our different speakers for today. The first speaker for today for Epsilon India is going to be our academic head of Epsilon India, Dr. Ashwin Guha. Let me share a brief profile about Dr. Ashwin and then over to Mr. Ashwin. So Ashwin is a PhD in computer science from Indian Institute of Sciences. He's been a freelance math educator for the last 6+ years. He is also an author of a children's book called Homework, which won the Jerul Book Award in 2025. And his research interests are graph theory and algorithmic algebra. He's also got a blog, Wrong But Reasonable. He's also topper of the Subject Math Olympiad for teaching professionals conducted by Cinta, the last in 2018 and 19. So that's a brief intro about Dr. Ashwin. Over to you, Dr. Ashwin, to take us through about the academic aspects of Epsilon India Camp.
Right. Thank you, Shubha, for the introduction. Welcome everyone for this seminar on the summer camps conducted by RAM. Specifically, I will be speaking about Epsilon India. Yeah, Shubha, can you go to the next slide? So, Epsilon, as Shubha mentioned, the elevator pitch is that it's a 2-week camp, fully residential, for kids who are in the age group 9 to 13 years. Math. So, Epsilon has been happening since 2020. Uh, uh, in the initial version, it was an online camp, but since then, it has become a physical in-person camp and, of course, residential camp. So, to kind of give you like a brief intro, Shubha, can you go back to the previous slide? Right. So this was inspired by the similar Epsilon camp that was happening in the US, which has been happening for the last 30 years or so. So in other countries, they have special enrichment programs for students who show high ability or a lot of passion for math. And in India, we did not have like a similar program. We do have programs, but often they are catered towards competitive exams or they go into something like, say, Olympiad training or JEE prep or something like that. But these camps were conducted research level math to school students. So that was the model that was set up in many countries. It started in the Soviet bloc, so it started in Eastern Europe, but then similar camps were kind of emulated in the US also. One such camp is called the Epsilon Camp, which was started by Dr. George Thomas. In fact, I will be sharing a little about him also. So, inspired by that, we have created a similar program in India where we don't teach maths in the conventional way. What we do is we provide a kind of an environment where a typical mathematician works. That is, a mathematician or a researcher who's working in a university, how they approach math problem. We kind of give that exposure to the students who are now in, like, say, middle school or sometimes even primary school. So what students will be learning is they'll be learning about math from working mathematicians. So it will not be about an exam or like scoring marks or something like that, but rather they will be taught the higher skills of math, something that is not typically taught in schools, and something that very few people get exposed to. Something that students would get exposed to only when they come to college or say university level. Uh, Along the way, we also try to show the different avenues that arise out of pursuing math. So, one career path is, of course, as an academic, as a research mathematician. But we also try to provide different avenues working in math. For example, applying math in, say, finance, or applying math in physics or other subjects. So we try, and yeah, Shubha, can you just go to the previous line? Yeah. The big uh, deep math, but then we also provide all-round support for the students. So it is not going to be a camp that focuses only on the academics, but it will also focus on, like, other things. For example, the social aspect of working together as a community, working together with peers, and so on. So this is like a brief overview of the camp. Yeah, Shubha, can you go to the next slide? So, as I mentioned, in this camp, we invite practicing mathematicians to come and teach to the students who are part of the camp. Uh, One of them is, for example, Dr. George Thomas. He has been teaching math for, I think, nearly 50 years now. He was the one who set up the Epsilon US camp in the US, and that has been running for, I think, nearly 35 years. So we took inspiration from him, and he also very graciously agreed to be part of the Epsilon India camp. So he is one of our mentors, and he visits the camp to conduct a course for the students. Last year, we had Dr. Harold Reiter, who is also a mathematician and also a math educator with nearly 6 decades of experience. So he is 82 years old, and he's still passionate about math, and he still teaches students. And yeah, we were very grateful to have him as part of the faculty. Sorry. Dr. Muralidharan, again, he's a researcher. He has nearly 3 decades of experience as a researcher with TCS, and now he's a math educator. And Epsilon Camp, variations of, for example, in CMI and so on. But last year it was conducted in Krea University, which is in Sri City, which is near Tirupati. And this year also it will be taking place in Krea University, and yeah, they are very generously offered their campus as the venue. Dr. Gangotri Sarkar is a faculty at Krea University, and she also teaches math, and she is, of course, a practicing. Dr. Rishi Vyas. They are also faculty at Krea University, and they were also part of the faculty team last year. So one of the key features is that we want this to be an immersive university experience. So it is not just that the students will be learning high level math or the math of a graduate course, but rather we will also kind of immerse them in the campus life of the university. So that is one of the reasons we are very particular that this be a residential camp, so that it is not just something morning 10 to evening 4 o'clock or something. Yeah, Shubha, can you go to the next slide? So just to give you like a quick idea of the kind of courses that we give at Epsilon Camp and the kind of math that the students will do. These are some of the courses that were offered last year. These are not the concepts that you will learn in school, not even in high school. These are the courses which are very niche, but which are kind of appeal to those who show a particular inclination in math. So this is aimed at students who are exceptionally gifted and show high ability, and who have the appetite and the intellectual curiosity for high. Of course, there are other courses, and sometimes we have guest lecturers also, say guest lecturers from astronomy or statistics or finance. Yeah, Shubha, can you go to the next slide? So just to give you all a very quick idea of how the camp is structured. So in this camp, we will be having courses which will run for 1 week or 2 weeks, depending on the faculty. And the students will be typically divided into three batches based on the level. And each batch will have around 15 to 20 students. It's not a fixed number, but we typically want to make sure that the students work in like a limited size batch. So as well as they do have like a peer group, they have a cohort that they can discuss math with. So typically we have three batches with around 20 students. And how the day is structured is that there are three sessions typically, which are 90 minutes long. And these sessions are not usually lectures. Sometimes they could be lectures, sometimes they could be some activity session. So they will be presented with the topic in the way it is the pedagogy is delivered to them. So it is not going to be a typical lecture that you see in any school or college where the instructor just delivers. Here we encourage the students to think on their own. So there is a lot of assignments given, but it's not for the sake of grading or for the sake of marks. It's to instigate them to learn more. So apart from the academics, that is the lectures, there is also time for office hours, and we have TAs who are typically graduates, the students who come for the Epsilon camp. So this is to ensure that there is not just academic lectures going on, but there is also someone they can look up to, someone they can reach out to for their academic development. And of course, TAs also take care of their emotional well-being and so on. So apart from the academics, we also have time for play. So that's play time, and then there's informal discussions that happen after dinner. And of course, the favorite part for the students, apart from the math, is the picnic that usually happens in the Epsilon camp. So this is just to give you like a high level picture of what happens in the Epsilon camp. Yeah, Shubha, can we go to the next slide? Right. So what makes Epsilon unique is that we don't teach only the competition. So it fancy terminology or the mathematical skills, say, for example, how to write a proof, or how to communicate your argument, or how to work with someone, for example. So we want to build all of these skills also into the student, and also the attitude of the mathematician, in the sense that creativity and also their persistence. So it is an intense camp where students are expected to work on math for say 6 or 7 hours a day, but it is something that the students enjoy doing. So it is for students who have that to math. And of course, there are also other side benefits, non-academic benefits, for example, on the life skills. So students get to stay away from home for 2 weeks and they learn how to be independent, how to take care of themselves, and how to work with friends, how to make new friends, for example. And one thing that Epsilon offers, which you might not get in other places, is the sense of community. So these students who are like showing a lot of interest in math, sometimes they don't fit in the regular school, in the sense that their friends do not share their same passion, or in a classroom with 40 other kids, they might find the regular school math kind of boring. But here they have the peer group where they kind of belong to this parent community. Shubha and Preeti, who you see here, for example, are also parents whose kids have attended Epsilon Camp. So it's not just about the students, but also parents get to build a community of their own. And when you're talking about children who are a little different from the normal kids, this parent support actually goes a long way. So this is what the Epsilon camp is for. That is not just the academic part, but also outside of academic part. So there is a support available for students as well as for the parents. Yeah, Shubha, can we go to the next slide? Right. So I'll just take a minute to explain the selection process. So there is typically an algebra and an exploration sheet that contact details and the website link with you at the end of the webinar. So there's an exploration sheet, and this is not like a typical competitive exam or an Olympiad sheet. So the algebra questions will be a little higher level compared to what they do in regular school. And the exploration sheet is kind of open-ended. So it is not like the regular school exam question paper, but rather something that they will have to spend weeks or sometime a month working on the problems. And following their submission, they'll be invited to an interview. And based on the performance in the interview, they get selected for the camp. Shubha, can you go to the next slide? So the student needs to apply at the website where they'll be able to download the exploration and the algebra sheet. There's also an app you can make use of. We'll be sharing details about all of these at the end. So after their submission, they are actually given a detailed feedback on the questions that they have answered. So it is not just about choosing or not choosing, but also to give them a good feedback on their math level. So following their submission, they'll be selected for an interview. After which, yeah, selected students get informed by an email. I'm sure that you might have some more questions. I'll be happy to take them, but for lack of time, I think I will hand it over to Shubha for the next speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ashwin, for giving us an overview about the Epsilon India camp. So for the sake of the participants, I would recommend that you can take a screenshot of this screen to understand the selection process of Epsilon India for your own reference later on. If this camp is interesting for your child or student that you work with. So the next best the speaker for today is going to be an Epsilon parent. So, I mean, we heard from an academician about what will entail in a camp. But for parents, it is always, they are apprehensive whether to send a child who's as young as 9 or as young as 10, 9 to 13-year-olds to be out of home, out on their self on a residential camp for 2 weeks. So, we thought no better person to talk about this than Shweta Gupta, who has 2 kids who have attended our camp, and her younger one was 9 years old and one of our younger campers in 2024 Epsilon. So a brief intro about Shweta before I hand it over to her is Shweta is an IT engineer from Pune Institute of Technology. She has 10 years of actively managing her family business. She's been balancing technology, entrepreneurship, and leadership in her company. And fitness is a big part of her routine other than managing her two kids and her business and her family responsibilities. Uh, Welcome, Shweta. Please share your experience as a parent to this group.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Shubha ma'am, for that introduction and giving me an opportunity to speak at this forum. My association with Epsilon started in the year 2019 when my elder daughter was selected for this camp. Unfortunately, due to COVID, that entire camp had happened online. So she couldn't attend the camp, but because it was online, I was a witness to the kind of content that she was exposed to at the age of 11. And my younger son attended the Epsilon camp 2 years back when he was 9 years old. Uh, so my experience with Epsilon for both my kids has been very different. My daughter was always a very introverted child, and she was always scared of speaking up or giving an answer, thinking that it could be wrong. However, during Epsilon, the biggest shift that I saw in her was when in the peer group, and like Ashwin sir said, that sometimes the children do not fit into the classroom mathematics because their thinking process is quite different and more developed than how it is taught in classroom. So, what I saw, the biggest transition I saw in her was there was that fear of giving a wrong answer has been permanently wiped out of her life because she has realized that there is never a right and a wrong. It is always the approach, how you approach a problem, not just mathematics, but in any other subject or even in terms of life. The difference is, uh, when you see a graded paper in school, sometimes when the answer is wrong, it's just a simply a cross and a zero. However, the fact that at Epsilon there was no cross and a zero. There was always approach number one, approach number two, approach number three. So there are multiple ways to reach a place is something that she has inculcated not only in mathematics but in every walk of her life. She's in grade 12 now, but in every walk of life that she has moved ahead from there. With my younger son, it was a residential camp, and he was just 9 years old. And because there was a difference of 6 years between both the children, he also wanted to understand what freedom is, and that freedom to take my own decision. So he was already studying with Nair sir, and very kindly Nair sir, Nair sir allowed such younger children to be a part of this camp. But that was one place that, in spite of being the youngest, he learned accountability. He learned to be responsible for his own work, including packing his bag. I think that was, for me, one of the biggest life skills was he packed his own bag after 15 days and brought it down. So there was no help from the parent, or how sometimes parents feel, how my child is going to be able to do it, is he going to be able to wake up in the morning, will he eat? But thanks to the faculty, the TAs, Nair sir and ma'am, the children were in a very secured environment. uh, they not only enjoyed learning, understanding, and exploring mathematics, but he's forever come back with a memory of playing cricket with Thomas sir and playing football with Thomas sir. I think that is something he's also cherished. He's found a very good peer group. He made some really good friends in the camp. And the biggest shift that I saw in him during the camp and after coming back is, uh, earlier I used to be after him, finish your work, finish this, finish that. But in the camp, they were given their assignments, and they were given a free hand as to how and when to complete them. I have heard from him about times when he's woken up at 3:30 to finish the assignment. So now he's very time conscious about his work, and that is again one of the biggest shift that I have seen post this camp. This will be his second year attending the camp, and like I think all parents will have that query, like I had, he'll be homesick, what if he misses me? That definitely happens, but I think that's very momentary, because the camp is so full of activities along with math learning that maybe the children probably miss, and then they snap out of it because of the friends, the activities that are taken, and the kind of environment that is given to them, that I don't think that becomes a very big issue. But when he went to Epsilon, he was very excited. But when he came back for Epsilon, he was very sad. That was one of the that was one of the biggest experiences that I saw as a parent. That my child was very happy entering this atmosphere, and he was very sad that I'm going to be leaving my friends and my teachers behind, because in 15 days they had become family for him. So that was my experience with Epsilon, and now he's looking forward to meeting his family again. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this experience.
Thank you so much, Shweta. I am sure it would have given a lot of reassurance to all the parents of younger kids who wish to put their kids, try this program for their children. So the next camp, because now we have completed Epsilon India, we are going to talk about Ram TP. And for that, our speaker is Preeti Rao. A brief intro about Preeti before we hand it over to her to speak about this camp. So Preeti is a chemical engineering graduate and also an English literature graduate. She's also done her certification as the International Montessori Educator, working with elementary children. She has 10 years of work experience working with Montessori children in the age group of 6 to 12 years, and also 10 years of corporate experience. She has been a volunteer to Ram TP camps multiple times, and she's also a mother of 2 teenage boys who have attended Ram camps in different capacities in the last couple of years. She is currently a math educator doing online sessions for Vichar Vatika Ganit Krida program, which caters to grade 2 and above children, where math is taught in a fun way through puzzles. So over to you, Preeti. Please get us to know more about Ram TP.
Thank you, Shubha. Like Shubha said, I'm a volunteer at RAM, and my 2 boys have attended multiple camps with RAM, both Epsilon, RAM TP, have volunteered for other camps. So I'll try to give a little bit of a parent perspective and also a volunteer perspective about these camps. So from the world of 9-year-olds to we are just plunged into 100 teenagers in Madras summer this year. And it's really, you should give it to the versatility of RAM, that they are able to handle children as young as 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, and then also handle teenagers, and 100 of them. Yes. And I have volunteered at these camps, and I can tell you that these camps run so smoothly. Yes. You cannot imagine the kind of finesse with which these camps run. But before I go into all that, let me share a little bit about the dates. This year, the camp is, of course, happening at IIT Madras, and it's from May 24th to May 30th. It is a 7-day residential camp, and it is for children from age 13 to 15. And 100 students are selected, and it's a week-long residential camp, and the cost is absolutely free. This is RAM's flagship program, and this year will be our 13th edition of running these camps. So it is an unbroken chain of 13 years. Even during COVID, the camp was held online for 100 students, and it runs on donations, usually parents. Shubha, can we go to the next slide? So a lot of which Dr. Ashwin said for Epsilon holds good for RAM TP also. RAM TP is for students in high school who are like really bored with school math. right? They don't find the school math interesting. I mean, not interesting. They don't find it challenging. They're bored. They finish it. They're always at the top of their class, and something in them tells them there should be more than this, right? So we want to address those students in these camps. Usually, what happens generally we see is that your interest in math is diverted to an engineering degree, right? If you are good at math, then the default option is you do engineering. Even as parents, if we want to really encourage our children to study math, there seems like a lack of options as to what in math, what do you study? Even if you get an undergraduate degree, then what next? What are the career options? What about research? So all these questions are unanswered for us, and we don't know how to go about it. So then how will we guide the children, right? So we would like the children to immerse this world of math so that they have some options as to what they can pursue next. And like Dr. Ashwin said, high school math is usually algebra, trigonometry, calculus, and it's just rote practice. There are formulae to be memorized. There are theorem that you just mug up and you have to write it exactly as it is. There's not much to it. But when you go to undergraduate level, you suddenly see that the math you learn is completely different from what you were taught in school. So there seems to be like a gap between what you experience math as a high school student and what is the math that you study at the college level. So we want to bridge that, and the RamTP camp is one such bridge. And just like Epsilon, it is a very immersive camp. Children are exposed to higher level mathematics, and the faculty, just like Epsilon, are like Ashwin said, working mathematicians, practicing mathematicians, and they give them an idea. It may not be as deep, some of the topics that are explored in Epsilon, but RamTP tries to give a wider exposure so that children have an idea about what they can pursue. And there is no grading, so you're not assessed on anything. There is a lot of freewheeling discussions that happens during these camps. And like Shubha said, I've been a volunteer, so I have sat in many of these classes, and children are so quick with their ideas, and they are discussing these ideas with math educators, professors who've been doing this for years together with college students. And these children are getting that experience, right? They are interacting directly with college faculty. And not just college faculty, one of the things that I like about RamTP is that the alumni come back and do some of the classes. There are TAs. So it is not just the older faculty that the children have to look up to. They also have students who are their peers, their age group. So there are students who are, pursuing their PhD in math, who are doing their post graduation in math or doing their undergraduation in math. So I can see the children feel an immediate connect with these teaching assistants and alumni. Hey, this is something that even I can do, right? So that seed is planted right there in RamTB. And again, you're looking at proofs of various mathematical concepts. So like I said, high school math can be a real drudgery because it comes under syllabus, curriculum, marks, competitive exams. So there is a lot of stress on part of the educator also. Even if they are well intentioned, they will not be able to deliver the class that they want to. But all these shackles are released in RamTP, and children are so excited. So you can imagine a bunch of teenagers in the evening, they have playtime. Believe me when I say that many of them don't go to play. Yes, that is the one last, I think it was last year or the year before. Just cricket was organized. There was a huge playground in Chinmaya Residential School. Many children did not go because they are all around this one particular faculty. Yes, and they had this deep discussion with her until snack time. So can you imagine boys? They don't want to go play cricket, right? So I can see Neil nodding his head, so he knows what I'm talking about. And Dr. Ashwin was there in last Ram TP, and I think for one particular batch, he was not supposed to teach them. So these children gave up their extra time and they went and requested Dr. Ashwin, you know what you taught to the other batches? Can you come and teach us this? Yes. So, and just like Epsilon, there are multiple batches so that there is a segregation based on children's exposure to mathematics. So there's a beginner batch, and then there's a more experienced batch, meaning returning students. And there's another thing about RAMTP is that not only the TAs and the faculty, the children attending are also very diverse, and also they have attended multiple other camps. Like for example, even Epsilon. So students like my sons, they've attended Epsilon multiple times, and then they go to attend RAMTP. And there are also children who attended math camps abroad and in India. So children who have not been to any of these, they can get to interact with all these students and see what is out there. So the peer group is also very kind of experienced, I would say, at least some of them, so that they can also share. They also bring something to this camp. It does not just the faculty and the TAs. And Shubha, can we go to the next slide? So this is about the application. So there is an online portal, and there is a detailed questionnaire which the applicants have to fill. And if you look at most of the information is just routine, your background and things like that, your school backgrounds. But some of the questions really show you who you are. For example, what do you do outside school? What kind of math do you do outside school? Yes. So that I feel is a very interesting and important question, right? So if you are a student who's interested in math and who wants to pursue math, so the question asks you, what have you done about that? And one of these camps, I met a student, and I think he was from Bombay. So I asked him, how did you find about, how did you come to know about Ram TP? And he said, I wanted to do something in the summer. I wanted to study math. So I Googled summer camps math, and I saw, Ram TP, and I applied for it. And that shows initiative, right? Here is a student. He may not have done much in math outside school, but he has taken the initiative. So we want, what kind of students are we looking for in RAMTP? We are looking for exactly this kind of student who wants to learn math, who's willing to sacrifice his summer. 1 week of summer in Chennai is not a joke, peak summer, right? And who wants to learn. So this is exactly we are looking for. What is your interest in math? What kindled your interest in math? We want you to take a look at yourself and answer, well, what makes you want this, right? And then we go through the applications, and your answers reflect your curiosity, your exposure to math, your interest in math. And based on that, and like Shubha said, there are thousands of applications, and we sift through all of them. And if you are selected, you get an email that you are selected, and we want you to confirm your um, whether you will be joining the camp or no. And once that is done, then that's it. We'll meet you next at the camp. I think that's all. Thank you, Shubha.
Thank you. Thank you, Preeti. Thank you for giving your perspective both as a parent and as a volunteer for RAMTP. So again, audience, I would like you to take a screenshot of this. The RAMTP deadlines have been extended to Feb 15th. So please make use of that and apply for the same. Yes, and these are some of the camp experiences of some of our RAMTP past participants. As you can see, these are all people who have represented our country in many different ways. Sai has represented in Olympiads, and she has done a lot of programs in the US. Shivani is representing European Girls Math Olympiad. She has also shared about it. So we have a lot of past alumni who have done a camp and have also gone out and proved their mettle in different programs. So we like to brag about that as well. Yeah. So the last camp for today, but not the least, is math.biz. And math.biz, we have two speakers for today. Our first speaker is Anju Subramaniam. She's from Kerala and she's currently pursuing her first year BA Economics Honours with Shriram College of Commerce. She has been a math-biz participant in the past. She has been a RAM TP participant in the past, and she's also given back to the RAM community as being a TA for Epsilon India. She's got a All India rank of 3 in her 12th board with a 99.4 percentile. Yeah, that's about Anju. Over to you, Anju.
Okay, so I attended Math.biz after my 10th grade, before my 11th grade, and I had just chosen to do commerce with math. And I was worried that I was leaving math behind by making that choice. And Math.biz is a space that proved me wrong. You'd be surprised with the sheer amount of calculus that we do in those 10 days. I'm the kind of person who loves knowing the story behind every equation and knowing the meaning behind every number. And that is something that Math.biz gave to me. The motivation for every math concept is taken from the real world. So, for example, we were introduced to the imaginary number E um, through the concept of compounding of interest, right? So, everything is just so applied, right? I'd like to debunk 3 myths about math.biz. The first is that it is math.biz. So, yes, we learn finance, business, and economics, but it is math. It is 10 days of math. And so, you have to be someone who is passionate enough to do that. And you will get a really interesting flavor of mathematics, which you do not get at other camps. And that is what makes it amazing. The second is that you do not have to be a genius. I remember my first experience. I cried a lot, but I learned so much, and I'm ever so grateful. You just need to be someone who's passionate, who's willing to put the time, do the pre-reading well, bother your TAs when you're there for the 10 days. They're always there, they're always willing to help you. You can always approach the faculty outside the classroom at lunch because a lot of them stay on campus as well. The third is, yes, it is a 10-day rigorous mathematics camp, but it is so much fun. You meet so many people who are like you, who think like you, and you get to meet TAs and faculty who are doing things that are options for you in the future, like Preeti ma'am mentioned. You get to see that there is a whole world out there that you just have not explored, and it's amazing. So we have faculty who are teaching accounting, we have faculty who are doing professional courses like CA and actuarial science. You have, TAs who have done MSc mathematics and, are working at places like Goldman Sachs. So you just get to meet so many people and explore so many options that you will not see elsewhere, especially when it comes to mathematics, finance, business, and economics. There is a change in the application process this year. So it'll be a written application in the first stage. Then there will be a first round of shortlisting. The shortlisted students will be given the pre-reading material, which is just so much in itself. It is very exploratory, and you'll get a flavor of what is expected during the camp, what level of mathematics you will need to use. You will get around 3 weeks to prepare for the pre-reading material. You will give a test, and based on the test, there will be a final round of shortlisting. Remember that this is purely to ensure that the people who come to Math.biz are able to make the most of the camp. So as long as you give it your best, you just need to be yourself and do your best, and you probably will crack it. So yes, that is all from me.
Thank you, Anju, for giving a brief overview about math.biz. Again, participants, as Anju mentioned, the pre-read material is a treasure trove of data, information and the material for all of you who are applying for this camp. And if you are true to yourself and you go through the material you can crack the test. So please go ahead and apply for this program. You can screenshot this application, this process, so that you have it handy when you go through the application. Yeah. Our next speaker for Math.biz is the teaching assistant, Karan Agarwal. Karan has got a dual degree in mathematics and computer science from Pitt's Pilani. He is also a faculty of Nagpur Math Circle. He attended as a Ramtepi participant in 2017, and he has been a TA for Math.biz from 2023 to 2025. Currently, Karan works as a quantitative analyst in a leading global investment firm. And this shows that our participants come back and give back to this community time and again. Over to you, Karan. Please do share your experience as a TA.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you, Shubham. So, Anju has already talked about the camp, but one thing that I would like to mention about Math.biz is like it's really a one-of-a-kind camp because students of this age are not usually exposed to the course we are covering at in those 10 days. We have faculties who are professors, who are founders, who are industry practitioners, and again TAs like me who are undergrads who are working in this industry. So the students actually get a lot of exposure to a very and we have people from every field, so they know what kind of options do they have in the future. And again, as most of the speakers earlier spoke, that it's not just a 10-day camp, it's a community. Like the best part about RAM that I like is the community that you build. On a personal level, this experience is especially meaningful to me because I was once a student at similar camps, right? I attended my first camp in 2017, that is 9 years back. And whenever I get time, I try to come back and give back to the community because it has actually impacted my professional journey and my academic journey so far. One incident that I would like to share, in 2024, I had my interview for the firm which I'm working at. And in one of those interviews, I was asked about my experience at Math.biz because I mentioned that I was a teaching assistant at Math.biz in 2023. So they were awed, they were in awe because they didn't expect students of 9th grade, 10th grade to study finance, right? So they were like, what did you teach? What kind of math was taught? And it's actually the math that we use. I work in an investment bank, and I can surely say that we are actually doing some real work based on what we study in these camps, right? So yeah, and speaking as a TA, it's actually incredibly motivating to see such students engaging with topics that I was not even aware when I was of their age, right? And these are the topics that we actively use in our work. So yeah, being a TA is amazing. Their curiosity, the students' curiosity and enthusiasm, constantly push us to think more clearly. It acts as a fuel for me specifically. That's why I usually try whenever I get time. I usually try to attend such camp because it keeps me motivated for the next 6 months. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Karan, for sharing your experience. I hope the participants find it interesting on his journey. And yeah, so now we've done with all the camp details. So we would like to also briefly run through all the distinguished speakers in our past events who have come and spoken to our children in our RAM camps. We have Vishwanathan Anand, Pichen, Dr. Sujata, Professor Bruce. They're all big names who have taken the time to come and speak to our students. So this kind of exposure that the children in middle or primary or even high school students getting is something really unique and amazing. And that's what makes these camps very, very special. So these are some big names who have also spoken in our past events. And last but not the least, we all say it takes a village to raise a child, right? So these are all the backend team who work behind scenes, who have been doing making these camps possible by their contributions. Those who are truly passionate about and who are child-centric and want to help children in their mathematical journeys, children and their family in their mathematical journeys. So in today's session, we also want to especially thank the people who are in this for making this webinar possible. Suraj, our intern, Rucha, our operations team, and Nikita Goyal, our head of operations, and all the other team who have worked. Neil, our past participants, who has graciously agreed for his time and come to volunteer for this camp, for this webinar today. So thank you so much for all of them behind the scenes today to run this webinar, and all the people in this RAM team who have been working behind the scenes. And a special mention to Neha, who has helped us with many back-end work and also this PPT. And last but not the least, our co-founders and trustees. Won't you all agree that the vision to start something in 2012, when gifted or the highly abled, those kind of words didn't even exist in our vocabularies? Isn't that vision to start something to give to the students in a form that they can take in, to make them enjoy math, to enjoy and be very child-centric, think beyond the school curriculum, that these people have put in their time and effort to think about this is something remarkable. You all agree with me, right? So these are the people behind it. Mr. Vinay Nair, as Shweta was mentioning in her talk too, is the main person who is the face of RAM in most of our camps. He's currently pursuing his PhD and slightly busy, and that's why I'm trying to fill in his shoes and trying to do this webinar on RAM's behalf. So now we are at the end of our session, and we would like to know if there are any questions from the participants, anything that went unanswered. Please do let us know. Okay, I see some questions that's coming up in the chat. Let me go back and share the dates of RAM camps. And I would like to mention that some of the questions that's come up in the chat are about the test for RAMTP. RAMTP doesn't have a test. As Preeti mentioned, it's going to be a questionnaire. And we would like you to go through the questionnaire format and think through and apply answer those questions to the best of your ability. And that's the main criteria for the RAMTP application. Anything else in this that needs to be answered?
So there's one question. Is a recommendation letter compulsory in case of Epsilon camp?
It is not compulsory. Ideally, we would recommend at least prefer one recommendation letter from the teacher or anyone who's worked with this child for some time will be helpful. And not necessarily the school teacher. It could also be some other class or some other sessions that the child goes to, who has known this child for some time. It's more about their attitude and other things. Though math, if it is a math teacher, that's also fine. I hope I've answered the questions. Anything else that you would like to add, Nikita, on that?
No, that's perfect.
Shubha, can I add about the recommendation letter for Epsilon Camp?
Yes, please.
So yes, we would prefer a letter of recommendation, but if you do not have one, that's okay. The more important thing is the child's qualification tests, which they write and submit. If you do have somebody who has worked with the student and can write a letter of recommendation, well and good. But if you don't have one, that is not a major stumbling block, is what I wanted to say.
Someone has raised hand.
I see one question. Can I just quickly take it up? I see the child is currently in grade 7. Which camp is suitable? The currently in grade 7, meaning the child is doing grade 7, so will go to grade 8, right? I would recommend them if they are less than 14 years by May 2026, they can apply for Epsilon. If not, they can try RAMTP. Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Excuse me, I had a few doubts.
Yeah.
Okay, so regarding the Epsilon camp, earlier stated that there are 3 batches and 20 students. So are there 20 students in each batch?
Yes. Approximately 15 to 20 students each batch. There will be 3 batches depending on the level that they see the child will fit into better.
Okay. My second doubt was, what is the deadline for registration of Epsilon?
Epsilon being a very small cohort of children, it's on a rolling basis. Though we say that Feb would be the ideal time to, Feb Med would be the ideal time to finish your application and send the qualifying test. But if the child got to know about this program much earlier, much later, then we can, if we can write to the RAM team, to the email given, you can write that the child has started working and probably give a deadline of when the child is planning to finish, then that's okay because it's on a rolling basis.
Okay. My third doubt was, in the selection test for Epsilon, we are given an algebraic assessment and an explanation test. So do we have to fill out the whole thing? Like if some questions are not within our ability, do we have to fill them in? Like answer them?
Yeah, not needed, but if the child can just try to say, think through those exploratory problems, and if they still feel that they're not able to, they can just write whatever they've understood and just leave it there. It's not necessary that they have to solve all the problems, but whatever they solve, it can be very detailed and giving a clear explanation of what they wish to communicate. That's what is mainly looked into.
Okay.
Dr. Ashwin, would you like to add anything to that?
Yeah, sure. So you don't have to solve all the questions. It is by design made at a higher level. So you can answer whatever you can, and you can just explain your thought process, your reasoning as much as you can. So yeah, it's not that you only have to give the full answer or the one single answer. You can just try your best. That's all.
Okay, thank you. And my last, like I'm currently in class 8, so I'll be applying for 2026. So should I fill my grade as grade 9 or grade 8?
Your current grade.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Abhijit?
Hello.
Yeah.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Actually, I want to ask, my son is currently 12 years old. He is completing 13 years in July. So can he apply for RAM-TP?
He's currently 12 years old, sir.
Yes.
Would ideally recommend him. He's in grade 7, you said, or 8, sir?
Currently in grade 7, but next year he is going grade 8.
I really would prefer if we can apply for Epsilon India. You can also try RAMTP because the weightage will be given for slightly older children. He can try both the camps and see.
Okay. And what is the strength of this RAM-TP?
100 students, sir.
Only one batch.
100 students will be there. The batches and all will be decided based on the exposure of the children in different areas of mathematics, and that will be decided at the time of the camp, sir.
No, like Epsilon, they said that 20 students per batch. So is it not like that?
This will be almost like 3 batches. The new students, the returning students, and then the slightly advanced students. But that might change, and it is a little volatile. So we would say, but we will ensure that the faculty and student ratios maintained, and they are getting enough support from the TAs and stuff like that.
What is the course fee for this Epsilon India?
Sorry,
Course fee for Epsilon India. What is the package?
can you please write to our team for that details, sir? We do have scholarships also for on a need basis. So
Okay.
the most technical details on that can be answered over email.
Okay.
Mr. Nitin?
Ma'am. Thanks for the details. Ma'am, I wanted to check that my elder son had done Epsilon. For my younger son, he's age 10 years old, right? He's in class 4. So is this a right time or for Epsilon?
Sorry?
Age 10, class 4. He's currently in class 4. He'll be getting into class 5.
Absolutely, sir. We did have a Shweta Gupta's son who was a 9-year-old when he attended Epsilon India, sir. So if the child is prepared for being in a residential setup 1 or 2 months before, and if he's ready
Got it.
mathematically.
Got it. And ma'am,
Sorry, go ahead, sir.
understood, ma'am. And one more question in terms of, I think you mentioned it's a ring admission. 1 or 2 days, if he's able to solve whatever he can solve, we it, right?
Sorry, your voice is breaking.
The position will be open. Can
Are you guys able to
hello?
hear it?
No, there is some
Some lag, right?
technical issue, yes.
Okay.
Would you like to put it in the chat, sir? We're not able to hear you clearly.
Sure. I will do that.
Miss Sudha?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Hi, Shubha. Actually, my kid is going to ninth grade and he has chosen economics and business as his main. So, math.biz will be okay to experience as a grade 8 at the end of grade 8. Is it okay? Or will it be too much why? Because it is catering till grade 12. So, I just wanted to know if it will be grouped into batches based on the skill level.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I would recommend if the child is taking economics and business, and definitely to explore, though they are in grade 8. I mean, I have my own personal example. My child attended when she completed grade 7. So the ability and the interest is what matters. If they're able to sit through the pre-read material and do the test, then definitely they will be considered if they meet the criteria of the percentage required. And they will be put in the batch that will be for beginners or whatever level they feel the child is ready to. So that will be a call that the academic team will take. Please ask him to try that.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.
Kavit?
Session 1.
Ma'am,
Yes, Kavit.
ma'am, I am from PSPB Chennai. This is my first time I'm going to try for such camps. What is my fair chance to get selected for RAM TP, ma'am?
How old are you, Kavit?
What, ma'am?
What age? How old are you, Kavit? Which grade are you in, Kavit?
12 years old, ma'am.
12 years old. Okay, so I mean, your interest shows that you come and sat through this webinar, shows that you are interested in math and want to pursue. Please be honest with the questionnaire that's given in the application of RAM-TP. It's mainly based on the questionnaire that we see through the applications. So try to write in detail about yourself and what are your interests in math and what have you done. Probably try to get some teacher recommendations, and that will add merit to your application. There are thousands of applications, as I told you, but we will consider based on all the different criteria. Yes?
Ma'am, recommendation letter from who, ma'am?
You can get it from your teachers in school or any other teacher that you work with outside. Could be a sports teacher or even music or whatever other extracurricular that you do. You can get from them too. Who knows you well, basically.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All the best, Kavit.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, I have four questions.
Yeah.
One is, has the deadline for submission for Epsilon changed from Feb 2 to Feb 15? Because the website still mentions in 2nd Feb.
Yeah, we have got many requests from participants, so we are trying to extend the deadline. And Epsilon is also a rolling admission process, so we will extend the application deadline, ma'am. We are extending the deadline. So if your child is exploring, please do send a note that we are exploring and the child is going to submit it by so and so date or something. That will help.
Okay, and the note should be sent as an email to contact at the rate ram
Yeah,
dot, right?
yeah, that will do.
Perfect. Recommendations are necessary for Epsilon also?
It is, as already answered, it is not necessary, but if it adds value to know about the students better from from another perspective. So mainly it is a very collective process looking at the qualifying test responses that the child has given, the recommendation, and then probably a need for there will be an interview. So it's a collective decision that's taken based on all this. So if you don't have a recommendation, that's also fine. That's okay.
Okay. Third question is about the interview process. What is the objective for it, and what exactly is, evaluated or discussed in that?
The interview is mainly to understand the child better, and if some of it is again optional. If they feel that they know that this whatever has come through as in their qualifying test clarifies most whatever they wish to communicate. Sometimes some of the writings or some things might need some more discussion with the child, and so it is. Let it be. It will be open-ended. No need to prepare for anything. It's only based on just answering whatever the child feels at that point in time. No need of any technical subject that they need to prepare for specifically for this interview or something like that.
Okay, so the questions for the algebra and the exploratory questions would be discussed in that. Is that so?
Maybe it is to get to know the child, understand where they're coming from, why they wish to do this program, and also maybe Ashwin, would you like to take it up?
Yeah, sure. So the interview process, as Shubha said, it is to understand the child. Of course, we will be discussing the exploration submission and the algebra test submission, but it is not going to be just testing them on their knowledge. It's just to know about the student because it is not only about the academic aspect that we will be developing in the Epsilon. We just want to know if the student has the right attitude, whether they'll be comfortable staying. Don't
Okay.
think of it as a kind of a process, a selection process, or something we are going to like give marks and like put a label on the student. That's not what the interview is for. It's just to know the student whether if they have the correct temperament for the Epsilon camp.
Okay, understood. And one thing also, sir, I wanted to check with you was looking at the question set in algebra, there are certain topics which the child should be aware of, like there is mod of numbers, quadratic, PNC, cosine of angles. So, is it that these topics should be the child should understand and covered before coming to the epsilon camp? Is it like a prerequisite?
Not a strict prerequisite. So that is what the interview process is for. So like during the interview, if we feel the student lacks certain concepts, we will encourage the student to read up on their own before they come to the camp for this camp. So yeah, if we feel that the student shows potential but lacks certain concepts, we'll provide them with the resources, we'll encourage them to study on their own. So yeah, we are really looking at the math skill rather than a particular concept. So all of these concepts, if they have exposure, it will be good for them, but it's not a strictly necessary condition for them.
Understood. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Samriddhi? समृद्धि शिंदे?
अक्षय, अब तो डेट भी चेंज हो गई है Feb की हो गई।
Ma'am, how to convince parents for camp?
That's a
Ma'am,
good
how to
question.
convince parents for camp?
That's a good question. It's a very sweet, good question. I hear and a big hug to you and to your parents. Sorry, we are not able to hear you. So I would recommend if the parent is apprehensive about sending the child, we will be happy to have a conversation to understand what are the fears and doubts that the parent has. Because it is not easy to send a child as young as grade or age 9 or 9 or 10 to a place they don't know. So that's why we organize this webinar where the parents spoke about there's an echo here. So we recommend the parents to talk to us. We'll be happy to understand their doubts and where they're coming from.
Okay, ma'am.
Looking forward to seeing you.
Shubha will take one more question and then maybe others can drop an email on the Ram's ID since we're running short on time.
Thank you.
Yes, Agraja Sabale.
Ma'am, I've attended AGMNC camp once during the pandemic, and now currently I am in grade 12. So, like, is it am I eligible for this maths.biz?
Yes, of course. Anju also attended last year, if I'm not wrong, when she was in grade, when she had just completed grade 12. So you are eligible to try for math.biz. Please do apply. And it will have your detailed questionnaire on to fill in. And then you will have to take up the pre-read material, read up and take up the test. Please go ahead and do that.
Shubha, maybe we can request other parents to drop an email on the queries.
So last, I would like you all to make a note of this, to reach out to us, our phone numbers, website, our email ID, and so that you can reach us on this. You can even send us a scan code. And like other people, we also have present in social media where you can follow us. So you can take a screenshot of this as well, so you can be connected to know more about our programs and what are the events that are happening in our foundation. Yeah, thank you so much for all of you to have spent your Saturday evening with us. Thank you. Lovely to have you all.
Thank you, Shubha.
Thank you.
Neil, we can end the meeting.